Tom, this is the 49th year for the annual tournament. You've been director for 35 of the 49. Can you tell us a little bit what goes happen in the background?
Well, Gene, initially when we started the tournament back in the 60s, it was single elimination, 16 teams, and we went that route for 6-7 years, and then we decided to go with double elimination because teams were traveling so far. They didn't like the single elimination because they were coming, from up in Canada, Quebec, Ontario, and all over New York State. So we switched it to a double elimination format, and we kept that format till about 5 years ago. We switched to round robin.
So with a 3-day event like this, how long does it take your directors and your committee to get everything ready?
Well, as you know, being a member of the tournament committee, we start in February and make our initial plans, get ideas, and then we come back again and meet in April, and then we have meetings every few weeks after that just to make sure everything is tied in, and because there can be some snags, as you are well aware of.
Absolutely. Would you say that this year, with the 49th, that it'll probably be one of the biggest years that we've had?
I think from all indications, from what I can see with the weather forecast and the caliber of teams that are coming, it looks like it's going to be a great weekend, yes.
So what improvements have been made in the past 9 years alone to the field and the surrounding area?
Well, we put a new food stand in, we have a new public address, we have a new irrigation system on our outfield. The boys are finishing up a new pavilion right now. It'll seat some people, keep them in off the weather elements and things of that nature. So,
how many volunteers would you say that you actually need on the average over your 35 years of putting this 3-day event together?
Well, that's a good question. And when it comes to actually tournament time, we probably have as many as 30, 35, but the initial work is done by a small few, maybe 10 to 15, and they put all their efforts together and try to coordinate things so things will run nice and smooth, being the food booth, the beer booth, the soda booth, the souvenir booth, and the public address booth, plus the maintenance keepers on the infield. That's another big product to get people to go out there and work in the hot sun.
So your money's generated through your display in food and t-shirts and soda and beer?
And our big money raiser is our program, which is this year is 22 pages, and that generates a lot of income.
And you have 10 teams coming from both from Canada and New York?
Yeah, both the province of Quebec and the province of Ontario and New York State, yes.
First game starts at?
Friday night at 7 o'clock. There'll be a double header.
Insofar as the community, what type of impact would you say this 3-day sporting event brings to the town of AuSable and its surrounding communities?
Well, a few years ago, a guy that plays in the league, Bob McConey, did an economic impact statement, and he did a report to the Rotary Club on it, and the figures were outstanding. Mostly coming from not the town of Jay here and the town of Black Brook, but the town of Wilmington. Wilmington gets a lot of business, and also the village of Keysville and the town of Chesterfield and the neighboring towns, and also the wives and girlfriends of a lot of the players, if they have time, they like to visit the Olympic Village. So that's another drawing card for them.
So with it drawing near into a close, wrapping it up, would you say that all in all, that the tournament has generated fast-pitch softball, bringing it back as an interest, not only here, but possibly through other communities, because we get so many different players in from other areas?
Well, that's a good question, Dean. As you can see, the local league here in AuSable Forks was rejuvenated by a couple of young players, and they're up to 5 teams now, and they're competing, all throughout the summer. In fact, their last game is here tonight, and then next week they start their playoffs. So that's a good sign. And fast pitch is not dead in the North Country, believe me.
Is there anything that you'd like to close with, Tom?
I would just like to thank all the volunteers, and especially the town of Jay. They are a tremendous help to us in all aspects. And I think with the other volunteers that we have, hopefully we're going to have a great weekend.
Doesn't the state of New York also supply some inmates for your...
Yes, we do. Supposedly we'll have inmates here tomorrow from Mariah Shock down in Essex County, and they are certainly a big help. There's no doubt about it. We couldn't do it without them.
All right, Tom. Well, thanks a lot for providing us some background information on the inside of what goes on for the tournament, and we hope that you have a real successful tournament this year.
Thank you very much, Gene.
It's a long, 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 long time before the dawn. Turn any corner. Here, you must hear what the people say. You know that something is going on around here. It surely, surely, surely won't stand the light of day. No,
And it appears to be enough.
yes it does.
Appears to be enough. Appears to be enough.
Time, such a long, long time before the dawn. Speak out, you got to speak out against the madness. You got to speak your mind if you dare.